you today? So, um, I'm just realizing that whenever I hit stream, there's like a delay. I don't know if this live stream is like recording like in order to get the countdown things to show up right. I'm sorry I'm like this. All right. So I'd like to say it's going to be a fast live stream today, but last time I thought I was going to do a fast live stream, it turned into an over 6 hour ordeal, so it wouldn't surprise me. I have tried adjusting the volume again. So this time I lowered my microphone volume by a few decibels. Um, I'm not sure if I helped or hurt with that situation with the volume adjustment, but I'm sure eventually we will get there. So today what we're going to do is follow up on the Raylee Rukavina versus Case Z, Casze situation. There has been updates from the family. There is a family member published in a magazine I think it's Distractify. um, yeah. And so we got that. So there's a couple of news articles and like 4 videos that I found about the situation I figure we could look at. That came up. I found them after the last live stream ended last night. So yeah. So what we'll do is I'm gonna roll my intro and then I'm going to just give as brief of a recap as I can on the situation for those who are new to it. And then we're gonna look into the new material that I found so far. So thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a good day, and I am going to chug my coffee. Hi, my name is Lexi, aka Deaf Child. I'm born deaf, hard of hearing. My team was one of the top teams between 2020 and 2024 in New Orleans and Louisiana. I began doing business as Deaf Child in 2013, marketing 2011, and sales 2009. I've earned 50 plus certifications in marketing and sales, and I have my Bachelor of Science from Loyola University, New Orleans, with a music industry studies major and a business administration minor. Visit my site at noladeafchild.com. All right, so as brief of a recap as I can provide on the situation. Allegedly, a designer named Case Z, Casze, um, she designed a dress for Raylee Rukavina. Well, Raylee paid for it partially. They did some dress fittings that we know of, because there is evidence of that, at least one fitting. Then From there, the dress was ended up being shipped to Rayleigh for the wedding. It was only partially paid for at that point. And as far as we know, Rayleigh has not returned the dress. KC flew all the way to where Rayleigh was to try and meet up with Rayleigh to get the dress from her, and Rayleigh did not meet back up with her apparently. Um, and according to Case Z, um, and then Rayleigh now today has issued a statement that we're going to cover about it. So what we know is there is a dress. The dress has been designed and approved. The design was by Case Z. The approval was by Rayleigh. The dress was executed and put on as approved. The dress was paid for and it was in part, it was approved after it was tried on. More crystals were added to the dress, but no sizing adjustments were made. And then the dress was shipped off as far as we know from Case Z. And then after that, no payment was received. Case Z tried over and over to get either the dress back or the rest of the payment. She wasn't able to get either. For part of the time, they ghosted her. Then they ghosted the internet, went dark on everything, except for this one public statement by a family member put out yesterday, as far as I know, since it all happened. Before she turned off her social media, she did make a post about it, and I did cover that in my live stream previously as well. Um, so yeah, fucking, I think that's it with the recap. And now let's check out the new material that we have here. So we've got a new video here. Um, Part of an issue was they were claiming that something was wrong with the train of the dress. And so here we have video evidence of what the train of the dress looked like. Um, and so I'm going to mute real quick and we'll just look at this quick little video here from Case Z.
I want to take you to Paris to spoil you. I want to go to my...
So it shows this gorgeous train. It's very beautiful, lots of crystals. Um, and you can see from this video there doesn't seem to be any issues with the train at this point. So I'm not sure what the issue was that they claimed. I just know allegedly something they thought was wrong with it.
I'll say and enjoy you. I want those guys in your DMs to talk to themselves and then tell all their friends that they know you. I want to make you forget about your ex.
And then it shows the sketches as well. Um, and then here we have another video where she shows the sketches. She's saying disregard the split on the sketch was wrong. Her sketch confirmed is on her left leg like the real model here. So as far as we know, she was okay with this slip here. And she seemed to try it on and be cool with it that way. And so for me, it does look like, from whenever you draw a dress, how it can look in reality can be a bit different from the design based on the material you've ended up using. So with the material given, I feel like this design matches this dress. I feel like the only way it could match the design better is if instead of using crystals and doing a crystal gown, if they did the crystal part up front for the bodice, but then for the skirt, did some type of like lace, perhaps. I think that would be the only thing that would make it look more like the sketch. But other than that, it's like the way the design is happening on the crystals. The only way that it could look even more like the sketch with the crystals as is if more crystals were added. And I would imagine the only reason more crystals were not added would be due to a budget limitation, and so either more crystals or a different fabric would be the only way to get it to look a bit more like that, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, let's see what this video is.
So let's see, do these dresses, which are the sketches from the bridal gown, look like what we produce since?
So it's hard for me to hear, but I feel like she's asking if these dresses look like the sketches produced, if they look alike to you. I think the one on the right, no question, absolutely. The one on the left, I think this is as real as it can get within the constraints of material and budget. You know what I'm saying? But the top part, no question. The only thing that could make the bottom part more, um, would you see how it has more layers of like a line going down, like a droop? If you had more crystals, it could do that, or a different material. It's the only way I would, you know what I'm saying?
We produce something completely different.
So yeah, I don't know what the fuck she just said after that, but yeah, that was that video. And so from here, Epic Maiden posted that he had a new update. I did watch this before, and whenever I watched this before, I don't remember catching a new update from what we've previously gone over, but I figure it could still be a good recap. And if there is a new update that I missed, maybe I'll catch it this time around. Maybe I didn't process it the first time.
Who was seriously mistreated by her client, Raylee. Casze, the seamstress, has explained she made a rush order bridal gown for Raylee, shipping it out in good faith just days before the wedding. She sent the final invoice before shipping, didn't charge for shipping, and even ensured the dress would arrive overnight. Once the dress was delivered, Raylee and her family went silent, ignoring.
So yeah, that is what we know so far. And this is all put out from the most part from Case Z's side. Um, And even though an original statement was put out, I forgot what that statement said. I think she was just saying that it was a lie or something like that. Um, there was a statement put out on her Facebook before it went dark, and I'll have to go look at. I'll have to go find. What I will do is go find the which video that was and the timestamp and put it in the description of this video. After I end this live stream, I'll do that when I'm doing the timestamps and the caption, not caption, whatever. I can't speak. You know what I'm saying? I think. All right.
Ignoring multiple reminders about the payment. Eventually, Raylee's mother said she'd pay the invoice if the dress was delivered, but after confirming delivery, they still didn't pay. Raylee later claimed
So, yeah, they didn't pay yet. The mom, and the fact that the mom is involved, like invoice, part of the invoice has been paid and things like that, shows me that I don't know. I feel like like there are just like things that have happened where there's documentation to where if Case Z put the documentation out now, it would be inappropriate because it could be perceived as doxing, right? But if they keep pressing it like this and she eventually puts out the proof, it wouldn't be perceived as doxing because then it's clearing her fucking name. Like, if you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, like if they're gonna go this hard on it, because if KC really flew all the way out there, and really has all of these receipts, like there's evidence for that, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it's a big deal for KC to put her name on this accusation because no, who that's gonna if you as a business owner lie on your client this way, do you really think you're gonna get more clients? Do you really think clients would then trust you? So this is a huge risk to Case Z. That's why my instant belief is to go to Case Z. You know what I'm saying? On top of the suspicion based on the response of everything else that raises alarm to me.
she wanted to try on the dress before paying the full amount, but the seamstress insisted on immediate payment. When Raylee mentioned needing alterations since the dress was too small, the seamstress refused to make any changes until the balance was settled. Despite multiple polite requests for payment and updates, they continued to ignore her. The seamstress even offered to come fix the dress, but they wouldn't communicate. Frustrated,
So yeah. So the seamstress was saying that at one point she was telling them she couldn't fix the dress if they weren't gonna pay her, but they hadn't even tried to pay her or get her to fix the dress. So that's where that those two competing issues can come into play with the wording there, I think.
the seamstress told them to return the dress if they weren't going to use it. She booked a flight and arrived to pick it up herself, but Raylee and her mother still refused to respond. As of now, the dress hasn't been returned, the seamstress hasn't received payment, and they've blocked her on all platforms. The whole situation is just crazy.
So yeah. Um and so now what we have since then, for the first time, we've got Rayleigh's family member speaks out about her side of the story about the wedding dress. So I figure we could take a look at this situation here. And everything about this video from Sassy Expression, all of the facts here can be found in the Distractify article. I would say I do wish that this person cited sources in the video because I think that would make this video seem less like he said she said type thing. I don't know. Am I wrong for that? But yeah, okay, so let's watch this.
Reached out to clear the air about the wedding dress in a statement and, quote, "I would like to set the record straight. The bride put 60% down for payment. Her final dress fitting was canceled 2 days before their agreed appointment. The designer failed also to show up for the agreed Zoom meeting after canceling the final fitting. The model she fitted the dress to very clearly was an entirely different body shape to Raylee, as you can."
So my opinion on this issue right here is just because the dress looked different on somebody else's body and someone else had a different body type when they wore the same size dress does not mean that the dress was altered or changed in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? So think Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You know what I mean? Like, um, or if you look at, you know what? Oh my God, yes. Paris Hatcher's Instagram, where sexy meets classy. So she and this model she had have two different body types. Let's scroll down to, this is going to be an older content of hers we're going to have to go find. So her and her model used to wear the same outfits, the same size, and show how it fit on their two different body types. Let's go see if I can find it. I haven't looked at her content in a minute because I've been off of Instagram because I've been so addicted to TikTok lately. Um, Paris is awesome. I wrote a blog about Paris where I did an interview with her. I'll have to go find that link and link it in the description of this video. Um, where the fuck is the pictures though? Marco, come on. I know, like, I'm like, we're gonna go keep scrolling until we can find them. Um, because I know that they were here. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. So this is, they will wear the exact same size, um, and show how they fit on different body types. But it's the same. They're wearing the same size, so they have very different body types. Though, let's see. There's another one that does it, that shows what I'm talking about better. And I remember her labeling it this in some of the previous content before. Um, if I go find it, I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing. That's what they used to do. Why do I feel gaslit? I know this happened. Anyway, she's gorgeous though. So, and please enjoy the Paris Hatcher promo here. Go shop at, I forgot her website, but go to instagram.com/Paris Hatcher and figure out the website and go shop there. Okay, so here we go. So here, you see right here, they're both wearing a size small, and you can see it fits their bodies very differently, but it's the same size. And you know what I'm saying? There's no alterations to the dress. Okay? It's the same fucking dress. You know what I'm saying? And they do that. Um, you see what I'm saying? Like, they're very different fits, gorgeous fucking ladies, very different fits of the same dress. You know what I'm saying? Same size. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you can have very different body types and still wear the same size dress. So for her to be like, well, it looks see, the other bitch was wearing it and she has a different body, therefore it didn't fit mine. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. We all saw the fits and the alterations. And if she approved it as it was worn in that dress, and I believe that the designer did not make any adjustments, because who the fuck is going to do more work than they need to do when they've already done so much work to get a dress done? She's trying to make it to the end goal. That's my opinion on how I am as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just don't believe that, in my opinion. Alright, let's keep watching the rest of this video.
You can clearly see in the reel that has gone viral. Per their contract, the dress was supposed to arrive August Roth. The designer lied about shipping the dress and sent a false tracking number. When the dress finally arrived, 2 days before the wedding, August 22nd, it was at least 2 sizes too small, leaving the dress completely unwearable on her wedding day. Even after visiting a seamstress, there simply was not enough time to fix the huge mistake. The bride and her mother tried to communicate with the designer, but there was no willingness whatsoever on her part. They requested a return label to ship the dress back.
And she talked about this, and she said she didn't trust them because they already had been ghosting her and playing games with her. So this is the point and why she went there directly herself to get the fucking dress, but they still didn't give it to her. So in my opinion, to be like, well, we would have shipped it to her if she paid us money, but because she came and tried to get it herself, we didn't give it to her, is some fucked up mind games, in my opinion. I hate when people are like, you're right there, and you're like, dude, come on, let's do this thing. And they're like, no, if you don't do it the way I want, if you don't go around and make it harder for yourself, I'm just gonna ignore you. What?
Back to designer. Understandably upset, the bride and her mother decided to table the entire issue until Monday.
In my opinion, they're saying they decided to table the issue till Monday, but if you have a dress that you've only paid for partially, and the owner is asking for that dress back, and you're not giving that dress back, you've still stolen the dress. Even if you decide you're going to keep it, you're going to keep it and not worry about giving it back until a later date, that doesn't mean it's not still stolen during this time period. You know what I'm saying? Somebody stole my scooter. They could decide they're going to deal with my scooter on another day, but my scooter's still fucking stolen. It still belongs to me. I still got the fucking title. You know what I mean? Like, what? I don't understand this. They're gonna be like, well, if I decide I might return it later, it's not stolen now. No, it's still stolen. If you haven't returned it yet, you don't have permission to have it, it's still stolen. Consent can be changed at any time, so I don't want to hear, no, well, she shipped it. But she shipped it under the premise of, I'll ship it if you pay me. They said that they were paying her, but they didn't fucking pay her. So therefore, she didn't ship it with consent. That's, you know what I'm saying? They had her ship it under false pretenses, in my opinion. If it went down the way it is presented to me according to Casze, and I do happen to believe Casze over them based on how I've already discussed. My logic goes with that.
Frantically find a dress that would work for Raylee to walk down the aisle. Raylee didn't wear the dress to the wedding. She wore a dress she purchased from a store in Colorado, not the dress that was designed.
I do think it's very interesting she hasn't been showing any fucking photos either. Um, and if she didn't wear the dress to the wedding, then she should have already returned it. And so for them to be like, well, we're not going to wear the dress, but we're not going to return it either, and we're not going to pay for it because we're going to find reasons we don't like it now, even though we liked it just fine when we were trying to get you to give it to us. In my opinion, it feels like it's devaluing and degrading labor. In my opinion, I do wonder. I have no evidence of this. I have no proof of this. There's no reason for me to think this other than I'm just questioning it based on what I'm seeing from their actions. I'm not saying they did this. I'm saying I wonder if this is what's happening. So, what I think could be a possibility, not, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just questioning a possibility of if they went after a black couture business owner because they thought they could pull one over on her and get away with it. I'm just wondering. Just wondering for the class. Because the way that they're devaluing her labor, the way that they're gaslighting her, and the way that they're using the mainstream media to respond, instead of even, it's just alarming to me. It feels like you are weaponizing white supremacist constructs, you know what I'm saying, in order to get away with stealing from somebody. Otherwise, just return the goddamn dress already. Then she can make the update, the dress is returned now. That could have already happened. Case solved. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Here's another thing. Here's another risk that, another risk besides losing business, besides the fact that she's risking any client that would ever buy from her again. I'm talking about Casze, by putting this out here. Another risk she has is if it were to come out that she was lying, all of the internet would go against her. You know what I'm saying? This would all go back on her. It's a huge risk. You know what I'm saying? So, where Raylee is trying to degrade Casze instead of sticking to facts, but Casze is just sticking to the facts, that to me also shows where the truth could be, in my opinion.
Designed as it was, not the dress that was designed as it was not fit to be worn on her actual body at her wedding. This dress was not stolen. What's going around on social media is completely inaccurate, end quote.
And so from here, I just want to look at a couple of definitions. So the definition of steal is to take another person's property without permission or legal right and without intending to return it, or to move somewhere quietly or surreptitiously. So, I just want to put it out there that if you haven't paid for the item in full, you don't have the legal right of ownership to it. And if you're not giving the dress back to the designer when she requested after she went out of her way to try and get it back from you, in my opinion, that is a stolen dress. In my opinion, based on the definition of the word steal and based on the scenario that occurred. And in my opinion, what they're saying is they're admitting Casey is right, but they're just deciding they don't care to rectify the harm they're causing to her. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion based on their response, based on what I know. Unless they could literally prove that they did send the um unless they could literally prove that they did send the all the money, or they could prove that they never ever once picked up the dress, but then they're saying that the dress didn't fit them when they got there. And they tried to claim that there was a false tracking number, I heard. Why do I think that? Yeah. Rayleigh's sister told them that they had a fake tracking number. Therefore, how did the dress get there at all if the tracking number was fake? You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. And I think even if there's a possibility that there's a typo or a mistake in the exchange of getting the correct tracking number to them, I just be like it's a fake tracking number. I don't believe that, in my opinion. Um, and if the dress arrived 2 days late, that I don't think that's possible in my opinion. If she paid for express shipping, and if so, that would be a delivery thing, and she could prove that she paid for the 1 day express shipping, and therefore it wouldn't be her fault. Anytime there's shipping, there could be delays that has nothing to do with the sender, and that's not the sender's liability, and that's always going to be a risk in any shipping scenario. So, thief. The definition of a thief is a person who steals another person's property, especially by stealth and without using force or violence. And the fact that this was done without using force or violence in this stealth way under the disguise of, buying the wedding gown for the wedding, I feel like, that's the accurate words have been used to describe the situation that occurred. Casey did say that she wasn't going to make any more posts about this in the description. She said for definitely my last post about this on this one. So we'll see if that is the last post. And I'm just remembering that she has another profile that I forgot about that I need to pull up to check. But so I also figure we could just see from TikTok any more updates regarding the situation here. So
family and friends.
Let me get this video to put in the description. Add this link here. Apologies, adding the link to this video in the description of the live stream. So David Wells responded, family and friends. As most of you have heard, we are going through some social media attacks right now with my wife's dress. The designer has taken this way too far in making life difficult. We did not steal the dress. The designer had half payment for the dress arriving. We've been trying to ship it back to her, but she's refusing to take it. In my opinion, though, you refused to give it back to her when she came to get it. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, if you can just, you can just send it to her. So you have proof that you sent it to her and she didn't sign for it and it came back to you? Is that what you're saying? I don't believe that. If you're saying the designer didn't pay you to send it to her, she shouldn't have to, in my opinion, because you owe her money, in my opinion. And yeah, and why should she pay somebody to send her dress back when they've already refused to pay her for the work she did? You know what I mean? In my opinion. Okay, and then it says, let alone we didn't even use it, and that is proof. So that's you degrading the labor, changing your mind about whether or not you want to wear the dress doesn't change a fact about whether or not the dress was stolen. If you kept it, took it, and didn't pay for it, regardless of if you're going to return it later, it's still stolen during this time period. You know what I'm saying? Then it said, I understand people are getting messages from all these people. I apologize. I never thought this could happen, but it happens on the daily with social media. Please do not respond and just report them. We are in the works of getting an attorney to end this nonsense. If you know us, we do not steal and are good people caught up in a bad situation. Um, so yeah, if you don't steal, then why haven't you returned, just sent the dress back already? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you give the dress back when she asked for it? Like, why didn't you pay for the dress in full? All if they had done any of those three things, I wouldn't think they stole the dress. But the fact that they're refusing to return the dress, they're refusing to pay for it in full, and then they're claiming, well, if she doesn't pay for us to give the dress back to her, then she's refusing to take it. That feels gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? It feels like they're looking for excuses to act like or distance themselves from their own behavior instead of taking accountability for what they do. For me, you would have to prove, you know what I'm saying, that you paid for it in full. You would have to prove you sent that dress back and she just didn't sign for it. You would have to prove those types of things that you tried to reach out to her and give the dress back to her on your own resources. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that though, in my opinion. I would have a hard time believing that. But, you know, neither of them have produced the screenshots on this. On her side, I can see why she's not going to produce screenshots until absolutely necessary because it could be perceived as doxing her clients. And then she shouldn't have to unless it comes to it for protecting herself legally. At that point, it's no longer doxing. If they're claiming, you know, X, Y, and Z, you know, that's her clearing her name, in my opinion. But for them to not show these receipts and make these claims, like that would put everything at ease right now. To be like, we're gonna so I get that you could be like, well, we're gonna let the attorneys handle it. That might be the safest thing to do in terms of not saying the wrong words. But in my opinion, you only need to do that when you're guilty. If you're innocent, you don't need an attorney to police you on proving you're innocent. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong on that. An attorney should correct me for sure. But you know what I'm saying? That's my initial thoughts on it all. So yeah, if you go through it all, there's just a lot of other people making commentary, and I'm sure that they have great videos, but I just ain't got the mental health right now to sit there through all of that. Um, so let's check out the Distractify article, the full thing, real quick. So from Distractify, the headline says bride dragged online after wedding designer says she stole her dress. Her sister responds. Exclusive. And I'm just gonna read the thing real quick. It says the designer said Raylee neglected to pay the balance on the couture wedding dress. It's from Elizabeth Randolph. Um, and it shows screenshots, you know, from the original video, and it says a TikTok bride will likely think twice before she crosses another entrepreneur. The woman, Raylee Rukavina, was called out by her wedding dress designer, Sandera Kazanthia. I am so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce this. Hey Mo, how you doing? Good to see you. I've been bitching about this concept of stealing from other people. Um Allegedly there was a dress stolen by a name named Raylee Rukavina. So the designer claims Rayleigh Ruka stole the couture gown. I can't speak. I'm just getting excited. The designer claims Rayleigh stole the couture gown and has blocked her on social media. Now, many social media commenters want Rayleigh to do the right thing. Rayleigh Rukavina's wedding dress drama exploded on TikTok in August 2024. An Atlanta-based dress designer named Sandera posted a TikTok and discussed her client Rayleigh's alleged unsavory behavior. Sandera shared a video of a model wearing a dress from her couture line. Case Z Atelier. I don't know how to say this shit. My bad, y'all. She then showed a video of her helping Raylee try to dress for her August wedding. As the influencer smiled while trying on a pair of earrings to accompany the dress, Sandera wrote in the video that Raylee allegedly took the dress without paying her balance. Raylee has our dress and won't pay us the balance, Sandera said. It's a bridal gown, and at this point, she will not return or pay her balance, so the dress is stolen. If anyone has information about this Colorado bride, let us know. In another video, Sandera claimed that after she shipped the dress to Raylee, the Colorado-based influencer and her husband, David Wells, blocked her when she reached out about her payment. Raylee appears to have deleted her social media accounts. Sandera's resume as a dress designer to stars like Glorilla, Jada Cheeves, and Angela Simmons speaks for itself. However, her TikTok sparked extra attention to her brand as her videos about her and Rayleigh's drama have gained millions of views. The video also resulted in several other TikTok creators calling Rayleigh out for allegedly stealing the designer's dress. Since the controversy, Rayleigh has seemingly stepped away from social media. Her TikTok and Instagram, which she used to promote her Colorado hair salon, are no longer active. Social media is divided over the Rayleigh and the Sandera wedding dress controversy. While many social media users are supporting Sandera's claim for the money she alleges she's owed, others are skeptical due to the lack of evidence. People are now asking Sandera for receipts to prove Rayleigh owes the money. Additionally, there's concern over why Rayleigh had the dress without paying for it in full initially. Never ship without full payment. A hard lesson I had to learn myself. Sorry this happened to you, one commenter wrote in Sandera's video exposing Rayleigh. Another suggested, you should start using an escrow company for transactions like this. The client's money will be held until they receive the item and finalize the purchase, so you're both protected from the loss. Sandera responded, we'll definitely implement this. According to TikToker Letitia Holloway, Sandera shipped the dress out without collecting the full payment to ensure it arrived in time for Rayleigh to wear it to her wedding. Rayleigh's sister told Distractify Sandera lied about Rayleigh stealing her dress. Amid the controversy surrounding Rayleigh and Sandera's dress drama, Rayleigh's sister, Mackenzie, contacted Distractify to set the record straight regarding the designer's claims. She said Sandera, not Rayleigh, was in the wrong by canceling her and her sister's final dress fitting 2 days before their agreed appointment, and also failed to show up for the agreed Zoom meeting after canceling the final fitting, and said the dress wasn't designed to fit her sister's body type. Rayleigh's sister also told us Sandera provided the influencer with a fake tracking number, resulting in the dress arriving 2 days before the wedding. When it came, Mackenzie said the dress was at least 2 sizes too small. She then accused Sandera of ghosting Rayleigh and her mother after they tried to resolve the issue after the dress was deemed unwearable by a seamstress. Mackenzie said Rayleigh and her mother frantically searched for a new wedding dress which she wore on her wedding day, seen above. Sandera, for her most part, has yet to comment. So this is the dress that she ended up wearing. Awesome sauce. Okie dokie. So, I would like to say I've already had my commentary on all of these other issues with that video that basically summarized this. The one thing we didn't address yet were these Zoom meeting issues. So I think it's unclear here who canceled the appointments. So, you know, that would change my opinion either way of like, I still think the dress is stolen, but in terms of how a customer could be frustrated if their dress was if their dress for their wedding day, the appointment was canceled, I could see some frustration on the client side. However, I still don't think that it warrants stealing from the designer. You know what I'm saying? And I still don't like the way that they're basically admitting, well, yeah, we've kept the dress, still have the dress, but you know, she didn't do enough to get it back, and so it's not stolen. Like, what? Because, you know, so I'm really looking forward to when receipts come out. If receipts come out publicly for me to cover, I'm definitely going to update on that with the receipts. If a legal case comes out about this and there's any legal documentation for me to cover, I'll cover whatever public material I can find on the outcome of this, because I am fascinated with which one of these people is telling the truth because here's why I think that Raylee could be lying and her family could be lying. Because at this point, they have nothing to lose. Everybody already thinks they're shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but, however, for Case Z to be lying about this would fuck her whole life up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people do you know steal shit and don't admit it? Like, I come from a family of people who are addicted to drugs. And so for me, stealing is a big deal because a lot of people in my family, because they're addicted to drugs, you know, they can't be trusted around things, they will steal. And so if someone in my family, a certain person in my family tells me they lost something, I know they sold it. You know what I'm saying? For example. Um, so some people, like, they really do not value other people's labor, and they don't value anything to the degree that they would easily lie about it. I'm not saying that's what Rayleigh's doing. I'm just saying I know people that would. So that's why I think Rayleigh could. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally saying this whole time along, I don't know what happened. I can only tell you um why I believe Case Z, Case over Rayleigh based on what I know. So we also have another article here just summing up this whole thing from Microsoft, and it says, you know what? Is this the same fucking article just posted in a different place? I think it is actually. Hold up, let me check. Is this written by the same bitch? Is this the same article? This is the same fucking article. Hold up. Yeah, this is the same fucking article. Okay, I'm not reading this shit again. My bad. The same article was reposted here. I think this is the same thing. Or whatever. Okie dokie. So that's all with that. Let's see real quick before I end the live stream. What I'm going to do is just look on Casey's other profile. Let me go look for it to see if there's any more updates on that profile about the situation. No, that's not right. I can't remember if I watched this one video. So I see one video on here that I know I watched two of these, and I can't remember if I watched this third one. I actually think I did. Let me just show you what I'm talking about real quick. I know we watched these two. I think we watched this one too. I think it's just a repost. Yeah, we definitely saw this. So nothing new was posted to this profile either. So yeah, so that concludes this live stream today. What we know and what we don't know. So what we know is that a dress was commissioned by Rayleigh from Case Z. And yeah, fucking what we know is that Case Z paid partially for the dress, and they think that because they paid partially for it, that doesn't mean they stole it if they didn't return it yet, in my opinion, is what they're trying to go with logically. In my opinion, it's still stolen if they're refusing to give it back. If the designer did put so much effort into trying to get it back so far, and on her end they blocked her and done X, Y, and Z to not give it back to her, I can see why on the designer's end it is stolen. You know what I'm saying? From my opinion, receipts would have to come out to prove it either way for me to officially be able to truthfully say with certainty which one is correct. I can only tell you how I feel about the information given to me and why I believe Case Z more than Rayleigh. So that's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all we know. Rayleigh denies these allegations. Case Z is standing firm. If any updates come out I will try to cover those, particularly if it is any form of evidence or any type of legal action that comes out. I will cover that right away if I can. Um, so yeah, fucking, I'm gonna end this bitch. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day. You are fucking awesome. And yeah, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Join the loyalty program at noladeathchild.com/loyalty and check in during live streams to get points for rewards.